Today we'll be finishing up my book called Samuel from Child to Leader of Israel, and it covers 1 Samuel chapters 1 through chapter 7. Looking at the table of contents, we have gone through a lot of Samuel's life in time, not necessarily where Samuel's a part of the story. We first, in chapter 1, we see Hannah, his mother, praying for a child because she's barren. And God answers her prayer, provides her son Samuel. And since she promised to dedicate him to the Lord, once he's weaned in chapter 2, she brings him to Eli, the priest at Shiloh, to dedicate him to the Lord and have him raised up in the temple, which happens. Chapter 3, then, there's a comparison between Eli's sons, who are actually priests, Hophni and Phinehas, to Samuel, how bad they are to how good he is. Then in chapter 4, Samuel gets his first call from God. And in this call, God basically tells him that to tell Eli that his sons will be destroyed soon. Eli is aware of that, aware of how bad they are, and accepts what God intends to do. Then in chapter 5, we actually have that event. Now, how soon after the call, we don't know. But the ark of, in chapter 5, the Israelites and the Philistines fight, and the Israelites lose. So they decide to bring the ark of God inside into the battle, and because it has helped them before. But it's their faith in God, where the ark symbolized that faith, that caused them to win before. They don't really have a relationship with God. So having the ark was just a symbol. God was not there to help fight for them. So the ark is then captured by the Philistines. The Philistines then don't know what to do with it. They end up taking this and putting it in their temple for Dagon. And overnight, that Dagon statue is destroyed. Over the next 2 nights, is destroyed by the ark. So they want to move the ark out of that town, and they move it around to, it ends up being a total of 5 towns total that held the ark for a little bit. Each town then having problems, diseases, illnesses, sores, rats, these things. And so they keep trying to move the ark away so that the city wouldn't be infected. So then they decide that we just can't deal with this ark anymore. So they send it back into the Israel country on a cart led by 2 cows. And it goes to Beth Shemesh, which is in Israel territory. And they've had it for 7 months. So then Beth Shemesh is all excited to get the ark. However, some of their townspeople look inside. So 70 of those people who looked inside die. So then they're also scared to have it. So they asked the people from Kiriath Jearim to take the ark. And Kiriath Jearim does. And then the ark is moved to a sacred location in Kiriath Jearim. And they have consecrated a priest to take care of it. And so it stays there for a good 80 years, even though it's not in where the tabernacle of Shiloh is. Why it's never moved back, I have no idea. So now we come to the very last chapter, which is probably a summary, really, of what's going to happen. So let's take a look. Samuel leads Israel. 1 Samuel 7, 3 through 17. Then all the people of Israel turned back to the Lord. So Samuel said to all the Israelites, if you are returning to the Lord with your hearts, then rid yourselves of the foreign gods and the Ashtoreths, and commit yourselves to the Lord and serve him only, and he will deliver you out of the hands of the Philistines. So the Israelites put away their Baals and their Ashtoreths and served the Lord only. Baals and Ashtoreths, both of these are the idols of the people of Canaan. Baal was a fertility god, and Ashtoreth was a fertility goddess married to Baal. What are the 3 requirements Samuel tells the people to do in order to be delivered out of the hand of the Philistines? Return to the Lord with your heart, all your heart. rid yourself of foreign gods, and commit yourself to the Lord and serve him only. What do the Israelites do? The Israelites do what they've been asked. They put away their idols and they serve God only. Baal and Ashtoreth are idols of what people? The people of Canaan. Was it good that the Israelites had these idols or bad? Bad. And scripture says, Exodus 20:2-3, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. And they had other gods and they weren't supposed to. So they put those away and came back to God, which was good. Then Samuel said, assemble all Israel at Mizpah, and I will intercede with the Lord for you. When they had assembled at Mizpah, they drew water and poured it out before the Lord. On that day they fasted, and there they confessed, we have sinned against the Lord. Now Samuel was serving as a leader of Israel at Mizpah. Find Mizpah and circle it. Okay, well, we get the circle part. Oh, Mizpah. Boy, right here. What was who's going to assemble at Mizpah? All Israel. What was Samuel going to do for the Israelites in Mizpah? He was going to intercede for the Lord. What three things did the people do there? They drew water and poured it out before the Lord. They fasted and they confessed. When the Philistines heard that the Israel had assembled in Mizpah, the rulers of Philistines came up to attack them. When the Israelites heard of it, they were afraid because of the Philistines. They said to Samuel, do not stop crying out to the Lord our God for us, that he may rescue us from the hands of the Philistines. Then Samuel took a suckling lamb and sacrificed it as a whole burnt offering to the Lord. He cried out to the Lord on Israel's behalf, and the Lord answered them. What were the Philistines going to do? They were going to attack them at Mizpah. This was a chance to wipe out Israel because everybody was together. Who did the Israelites turn to for protection against the Philistines? Samuel, God through Samuel. What did Samuel offer to the Lord? A suckling lamb, and sacrifice the whole thing. We know that the Lord answered Samuel, but we don't know what the Lord did or said. Do you think the Lord is going to help the Israelites? And what do you think he's going to do? Yes, I think he's going to help the Israelites because they've turned their hearts back to God. And he is going to somehow stop the Philistines from attacking. While Samuel was sacrificing the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to engage Israel in battle. But that day the Lord thundered with loud thunder against the Philistines and drew them into such a panic that they were routed before the Israelites. The men of Israel rushed out of Mizpah and pursued the Philistines, slaughtering them along the way to a point below Ben-Car. What did the Lord do? He thundered with loud thunder and threw them into a panic. What did the Israelites do? They rushed out and pursued the Philistines and slaughtered them on the way. Do you think what the Philistines did was the right thing to do? Why or why not? I think so, yes. May not have been what we thought, but remember, God had told them to kill all the inhabitants of Canaan. And so, although they didn't say on the Philistines, but that's why I think. We'll see. 1 Samuel 7:12. Samuel then took a large stone and placed it between the towns of Mizpah and Jeshana. He named it Ebenezer, which means the stone of help, for he said, up to this point, this Lord has helped us. So the Philistines were subdued and they stopped invading Israel's territory. Throughout Samuel's lifetime, the hand of the Lord was against the Philistines. The towns from Ekron to Gath that the Philistines had captured from Israel were restored to Israel, and Israel delivered the neighboring territory from the hands of the Philistines. And there was peace between Israel and the Amorites. Find Gath and Ekron just above it and circle them. Okay? Gath and Ekron. Gath and Ekron. The location of Ben-Car is unknown. However, some Bible scholars believe that it is also known as Beth Horon. Find Beth Horon and circle it. Okay. Beth Horon. Beth Horon. Beth Horon. Beth Horon. Oh, Beth. Maybe it's that one. Let's just make sure. Beth Horon. Hello, Beth Shemesh. Hello. She's a mattress. You go show out. Easier. America. Well, I don't know where it is. Hmm. Beth Car. Okay. Haran. Beth Haran and circle it. So Beth doesn't look like Beth Haran there. Well, oh, there I see it. I see it now. There he goes. Find Ebenezer, circle it. Whereas the stone called Ebenezer is located southeast of Mizpah and elder Shiloh, put a star where you think it is. Find Ebenezer and circle it. Okay, Ebenezer, where? Oh, there you are, Ebenezer. And it's located south northeast of Mizpah and under Shiloh. Okay, where is Mizpah and under Shiloh? Okay, so the star, which is there. So there you go. Samuel continued as Israel's leader all the days of his life. From year to year, he went on a circuit from Bethel to Gilgal to Mizpah, judging Israel in all these places. But he always went back to Ramah, where his home was, and there he also held court for Israel, and he built an altar there to the Lord. Make a big circle connecting Bethel, Gilgal, Mizpah, and Ramah. This is known as Samuel's circuit. Well, I don't know that I can do that. Bethel, Gilgal, Mizpah, and Ramah. Bethel, Gilgal, Mizpah, and Ramah. Okay, well, I can. And Bethel. And that's the end of the chapter here. So that's the end of my book. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.